what for us is a pretty significant milestone. We're almost now 5 years post Hurricane Sandy, and it has been a long and hard recovery process, and is still in many, many ways ongoing. But in a lot of ways, I think this project is really emblematic of the process we've come through. This isn't just about saying, okay, we finished a project, let's cut the ribbon. It's really a chance to reflect on who we've become through this and how we've changed. And that's been on a lot of dimensions. First, as an agency, as we look at repairing any kind of system, investing in any kind of structure or resources, it certainly changed for us how we go about that. And in planning not for today and putting back what was here before the storm or before any event, but now looking to the future, understanding what a dynamic environment it is that we're living in, understanding, the future that we're looking at in terms of climate change, in terms of increased frequency and intensity of storms, rising salinity in the environment, sea level rise, changes in pH, changes in plant species, and looking at how we can reconstruct and plan a future where we're going to be ready for the changes that we're facing, and that we're investing our money wisely, and that we're creating something that's going to last beyond us. And it's really, I think, changed our approach, particularly in natural resource preservation too. Well, I'd say both in the infrastructure itself and in how we manage our resources. I mean, it's not just, yes, we came in here and filled the breach, and what you're looking at now is a hard-sided structure, but it isn't an approach of just man versus nature. It has to be man with nature. And so as we look at these kinds of systems, we're also looking at the role of the natural environment and working on planning out a living shoreline in front of the structure we've put in the breach, and looking at the importance of natural restoration and the role it plays in wave attenuation, flood absorption, and how these things all have to work together. I think too, for us in the National Park Service, thinking about our approach to natural resource preservation, it's really helped shape and mold our own thinking as well. And this project in particular created a really wide dialogue throughout the agency on natural resource preservation and what that means in the context of an urban environment or an urban national park. Because what we're looking at here, I mean, with all the natural beauty and this amazing ecosystem here, it's a man-made environment originally. It was an engineered system put here by Robert Moses, but put here for this reason. When the breach happened, our typical approach to preservation says, let natural processes prevail. Let nature take its course. And in a lot of contexts, that would make sense, and that would be what we wanted to see. But looking at what we have here and the significance of this resource, the freshwater habitat here, which when you look at in a regional context and over the past several decades, the fact that freshwater habitat has been reduced by about 90%. The significance of what this offers, both for the environment and creating a place for that habitat to continue to exist, as well as for the millions of people right around here who can have access to that environment in an easily accessible and easily understandable way, get to come here and do this loop trail and directly experience this environment, whether it be the birds, the turtles, the plants, or just being out, in the whole ecosystem. It is really an unparalleled opportunity. And so while there is certainly a place in our country and this world for letting natural processes prevail, lens through which we've approached this. And from our end, I think that's how it's really changed us and our thinking and perspective and approach to what we're doing out here in New York City. You know, and as a community, I think what this project really represents, we certainly did not do this in a vacuum. And Hurricane Sandy, you know, for all of the destruction it wrought, really opened up a whole new conversation and dialogue between agencies like us, amongst all the agencies at various levels of government, and with the community, with nonprofit groups, with local neighborhoods, and really talking about, well, what are all our interests, how do they intersect, and how can we help each other as we try and, move past and beyond, our current circumstances. And that is a really rich legacy. I mean, on this project, we had a multiplicity of voices coming to the table and saying, no, you have to fill this breach, and this is why it's so important. And those voices are what made the difference, that really opened people's minds to, yes, we need to look at things differently here. It gave us the support we needed in order to be able to move this forward. And so from, our friends in the birding community to our nonprofit partners, I see NPCA here, groups like the Nature Conserving and the Jamaica Bay Rockaway Parks Conservancy, who have banded together to really invest in ecological restoration of the Wildlife Refuge, our local community boards and civic boards, American Littoral Society, the Eco Watchers. I mean, it's really been a community effort that has led to what you see today. And so now we're ready to welcome back those hundreds of thousands of visitors and school groups and kids back to experience the Fall Loop Trail in our soon-to-be freshwater system at the Jamaica Bay Wildlife Refuge. So again, I just want to thank you